wherever and whenever you are, and welcome back to the Underdark as we rejoin our adventures here on our Out of the Abyss campaign. I hope that everyone is doing very, very well. Thank you for those of you who are already joining us today. It's very good to see you all. Baron Dragonborn over there in chat, and everyone else that's around too. Thank you, thank you. Welcome on in as we get things rolling here. Now, not only all of you fine people over there, let me also say a big hello and how you doing to all the VOD squad as well, and Stephen there as well, hello. And let us always say a big thank you to all of those people who can join us for the adventures that we have going on wherever and whenever you are. Especially all those people on YouTube who, for some reason, it seems are very enamored with our Curse of Strahd opening reel. I just looked at that the other day because someone commented on the video yesterday, and for some reason it has 3.9 thousand views suddenly from out of nowhere. So I don't know if someone put that on Reddit or something, but yes, that blew up somewhat, which was nice. Welcome to anyone that's come here through that. Nice to have you with us all for our adventures here. Now, that said, speaking of those VODs and the YouTube stuff, let me do a quick shout out in chat there. That is our Twitter and YouTube channel there. If you want to catch up with our adventures and see what is going on, then you can have your chance to do so over there on YouTube and get all of the news about everything that's going on for Phoenix Iwaki, including some exciting things coming up. I have an email to check, which I need to check after the session, which is potentially very exciting. And we have a brand new mini campaign for a brand new system, our first non-D&D stream here on the channel, as we dive into the weird west of Deadlands, starting this Friday. I cannot wait. I will be a player in that one. I am not going to be running that. Our good friend Josh, who played Firemore in Out of the Abyss, no, that's this, in Descent into Avernus, and also is Tuln in Rime of the Frostmaiden. He will be running that for myself. Chase, who you will recognize from Rime of the Frostmaiden and our summer mini-campaign, as well as our good friend Swag, who is in our offline Eberron game. You may have seen him, especially if you joined us for the character creation of our one-shot roulette games. He's my co-host for that. And of a special guest, a very, very esteemed and illustrious guest that is Josh the Pirate from Corsair's Cove. And you may have seen them over on Roll for Damage as well. Very, very excited to play with all of them and to attempt an American accent. Sam Buns, I apologize in advance. And Stephen too, I guess. Sorry, I forget.
Oh no, offend America as much as you want.
Yes, okay. And we are going to be jumping into that, as I said, on Friday. Do join us. I have a nice little teaser for that at the end of today, if you can stick around and join us for that. If not, you can join over on our Discord. If you're not already, do consider giving us a follow so that you can jump into our followers' Discord and have all of the access to that, which is a fun place to hang out and share anything that you've got going on, your projects or any art and things that you're going on, or just to chat about stuff going on here on the channel, or general D&D stuff, and whatever you fancy. It's a nice place, lots of lovely people in there, so do jump on in there and give us a follow, and I shall send you an invitation in your Twitch Whispers for the Discord there. If you missed the when I first sent it and it timed out, just send me another message, I'll send you another one, that's no problem. Right, now that said, let me continue to say some thank yous, not just to all the fine people over there in chat and watching us already, thank you, but also to the wonderful people at Sirenscape, a fantastic source of music and sound effects for your game. If you would also like to try it out for your games, please head over to sirenscape.com, where you can get a free 30-day trial and try out all of the amazing things they've got going on there. And if you like them, you want them in your games all the time, you can become a Super Siren subscriber and have access to all of that. Be your games in person, around the table, or online, scattered across the globe, such as we are here. Now, we do also have some other sources of music. If you would like to see all of the YouTube channels and Patreons and the like that we like to get music from, head on over to any of those VODs on YouTube, and there are links to all of the channels in the information on those VODs. Now, let us remind ourselves what was going on here before we get a hi hello from these lovely players down here, and then we can jump into this proper. Last time we were here in the Underdark, you were reunited with your friends, having escaped from the oozing temple with a new gelatinous cube friend, and you set off for Blingdenstone, the Svrfneblin city, guided by your friend, who is also a Svrfneblin, Jimjar, and also a strange compulsion that your new gelatinous cube friend Glabagul felt, drawing them towards the city. Along the way, you had a very peaceful, uneventful journey through the Underdark. I'm not quite sure what it was that was keeping all of the nasties away, but some nice dice rolling on your part, more than anything else. And you managed to make it all the way to the outskirts of the Svrfneblin city without too many problems. The lengthy journey, several days as it was, gave you the chance to chat amongst yourselves and catch up and delve into each other's things going on, what's going on with everybody here in the group as you're traveling with various NPCs and the like. And you first talked with Topsy and Turvy, who are also Svrfneblin, but not so keen to be heading back to the city, because they are rather concerned about their reaction or the potential danger that they could face, as they have been cursed with lycanthropy and are were-rats. Although not the only ones in the city, it seems, as they told you about a clan of were-rats that do exist in the unreclaimed tunnels, because Blingdenstone is definitely a work in progress. Having been slaughtered and driven out by the Drow decades ago, the Svrfneblin are leading an expedition now to reclaim the city, but they have had to seal off and collapse tunnels to block off various parts of the city because of the dangers and monsters that moved in during their absence. These were-rat Svrfneblin are one of those such groups. You also talked with Esmeralda, and Elora in particular talked with Esmeralda about what they would do upon reaching the surface once more, and how they would proceed, whether to rejoin the Green Dagger, their highway robbery band of badass ladies over near Baldur's Gate, or to continue battling whatever it is here, rising up out of the depths of the abyss, as it would surely impact upon the entire existence above were it to go unchecked. Corbin was having a think about all of the various bits and bobs and things that they've come across and things they've heard about down here in the Underdark, thinking about their future down here as well. And they recalled the outpost of Mantle Derith, a neutral ground where all the various races, the Svrfneblin, the Drow, the Durgar, humans from the surface, all manner of folks coming together to trade and make use of neutral grounds to actually have that very lively and profitable gathering of folks, which is off somewhere in the Underdark as well. After this journey of contemplation and thinking and discussing about things, they arrived at the outskirts of the Svrfneblin city, and they were greeted by Svrfneblin guards who revealed the entrance to the Pickshine Mines, a big complex of mines around the city, but only with one entry, because the Svrfneblin are very cautious and careful how they set up things to make them as defensible as possible. And you met you met these guards at the entrance there, as well as their little earth elemental buddies that were guarding the entrance, and you decided that it was best to send Glabagul on their way to follow whatever it is that's drawing them on, as the Svrfneblin here have a big problem with oozes, it seems, and were very against having even such a friendly ooze as Glabagul in their midst. on the inside, you met with the overseer, one Dasco Pickshine, a family name which rang a bell for you, having been asked to meet someone from the Pickshine family by your contact in Gracklstug, the Duragar city. You were asked to deliver some gems to this Pickshine fellow, and that was apparently a cousin of this overseer. And you were promised the chance to tag along with an ore caravan that was transporting some precious ores from the mine to the city itself the next morning, in return for providing some extra security to the said caravan. And you were shown into kind of barracks, like simple lodgings, kind of miners' lodgings here in the mine complex, and you settled down for the evening, but not before you realized at some point along the way you'd been pickpocketed, and a certain chunk of your gold was missing. That is where we left things last time. All right. Yes. Thank you, Buds. We're an eminent. Thank you. That's a good way to put it. Sorry, I wasn't looking at you there. And hello, Charlie. And Comic as well. Welcome. No worries, Charlie. Yes, lurk away, my friend, as you are down in Avernus. Thank you so much for the look. Now, my friends, let us talk to you, and a quick hello, and who are you, and who you're playing, and where are they at right now. I'm going to go the opposite way around. Corbin. Sun reverse the sun.
Yeah, Buns, and I'm first this time.
Yep.
I'm playing Corbin, our changeling monk / druid, spore druid to be specific. And very willing, but not expected tamer of the Underdark. I'm going to give that title. It's going to happen. Where are they right now? They are traveling with everybody and probably very perturbed that it seems they have been pickpocketed. Rude. Kind of probably like on guard.
Indeed. Okay, moving across Zakan. Who are you? Who are you playing? Where are they at?
There it is.
Tick, tick.
Hey, I'm Steven, and I am playing Zakan, an Aasimar ranger / cleric who has the divine celestial given mission to find those lost here in the Underdark and to bring them to where they need to go, to the light or the surface, or if they are evil, to bring them to the ground and kill them. They're doing their best to guide everyone that they have with them through the Underdark, and while also trying to reconcile with their own lack of power to stop all the bad stuff that's happening.
All that bad stuff. So much bad stuff. All right,
Bad
thank you.
stuff happening.
If you're looking for lost souls, you hit the jackpot as you found this this bevy of people to escort to various bits and bobs. I think Zakan's in a very happy place at the moment. She's like, yay. And I helped. Okay, last but not least by any measure of the way you'd like to put it, any way at all, even by royal line of succession. Hey, Laura, please.
Hello, my name is Sam. I play Laura Lustrous. She is a high elf rogue assassin from Myth Tranner, which she ran away from to start a outlaw band with her fellow friends, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, was captured by the trail, met these lovely people, and is definitely a little bit torn between wanting to be safe and run away and do the smart thing, and also not wanting to leave this disaster of a situation to grow and expand on its own.
I'll just leave it in Corbin's capable hands. I'm sure it'll be fine. Corbin in a menagerie fights back the Abyss.
We'll just call it Corbin and Pals.
All right. So, you, if you had not already, may take the benefits of a long rest. And get that sorted.
Yeah.
And all right, and then the next morning, you awaken fairly bright and early to a rather industrious group of Sverfneblin bustling about the place, getting the caravan ready, because they definitely want to get going and get to the safety of the city proper as quickly as possible. And you are gently awoken, as gently as miners can. And they're like, are you ready to go? We're the wagons are all loaded, and the giant cave lizards get a bit frisky if we don't set off right away. So if you're all set, then let's go.
I think
Or you can stay
Zakan
here
is-
if you like. I mean, it's up
I
to you.
think Zakan's been doing their usual thing, which is where like they're sitting up, so it's hard to tell if they're conscious or meditating or paying attention or anything like that. But they just like stand up and give a nod.
Yeah, like a faint inhalation of breath as you come. He's like,
You've low-key been like our face because Corbin's been trying to do the strong silent thing.
that's it. Corbin, you're pretty good at
trained for.
pretty good at reading people, and I mean, one thing that kind of stands out to you is that these Svrfneblin are very cautious. They're very concerned about the other folk that are around and about the place in the Underdark here. Although that is set off quite a bit by travelling, as you are with 3 of their friends, and that is definitely a good thing in your favour.
And to that point, Zakan nods at Ginger and says, "After you, you are our humble guide."
Yeah, all right. Well, have you got all your gear together? Well, it's they won't hang around. Are you all good to go?
Everyone, do you have your bags? Have you used the restroom?
And
It's
yes.
a bit of a walk to the city yet.
Hey, you go now. We're not stopping. I'll turn this caravan around.
Everyone pair up with your buddy. All right.
It's
So, yes.
Laura's arm before Prince Darren.
Right. Like,
Make sure the straps on on Webster are all nice and snug and comfortable.
Mhm, mhm.
no, Darnell, I don't need an escort to the bathroom. I'm good.
Back,
actually,
I say.
I will say, actually, I will say, in recent days, he is reading the room more than he used to, and he is not pursuing escort duties as much.
I almost
as before.
died.
Seriously.
From that time, I was almost possessed by Zerkdemoy. I think he's been very well behaved.
Indeed.
Yeah, he got squid gamed, and then like Alora almost died, so he's had to face up to some things.
I'm done. I'm done being
Indeed. Indeed. Right. Okay. So, a lot of you head on out, and out front of that entranceway where you came and first arrived here, you do see the guards with their little garabdul. Am I saying that right? I think that's what it was.
Spell it. I don't.
Galabdur,
Yeah.
excuse me. The Galabdur little buddies are
Regional
still
accent.
there, hanging out with. Look at them though; they're so cute. Come here. Where are you? Come here.
Fan-shaped.
Come here. Yes. Look at him. Hello. Okay.
Aw. Oh yeah, the soft rock babies.
Yes.
Soft rock babies.
Soft rock babies. not the moderate rock babies. Soft rock babies. Okay.
The moderate rock.
We're like
travelers
Michael
are not
Bolton.
the same.
Okay, everyone, if you will, imagine Galabdurs with Michael Bolton mullets. Okay, now, just gonna put that out there. And as you meet up with the various very definitely not hard rock babies, no. Those ones are off just mashing it up in another cavern, Lord Kosh. Just like right, okay. Now you yes, meet up with the caravan and all of the very practical, very all business Svrfneblin that are going about the place and getting things sorted and making sure that the contents of the caravan is secured and keeping the giant cave lizards from bolting and tearing about the place. And you form up on either side with your various friends and Webster at the rear. It's it's pretty good to keep Webster and the giant cave lizards apart. could be a little bit of a rivalry there.
It's
Having got your dog at the park.
It's just the giant cave
stay
lizards one.
parallel. We're just sideways walking next to the party. So we can stay away.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that? What was that viral video where the guy lost control of his dog? What was the dog's name?
Oh, Fenton?
Fenton, yes. Yeah,
Fenton.
One of the giant cave lizards just goes charging up. One of the surf members like Fenton. Charging after it. It's always one. No, okay. So you are ready to go, and the leader here. What was his name again? Daskell, right? Daskell's come out to see that everything is in order and ready to roll. And as you set off, the wagons creak into motion as the cave lizards lean into their harnesses, and there is the scuffle of feet, but elsewise other fairly subdued caravan that you're traveling with here, as they are very cautious about alerting the nasties of the Underdark to their passing.
They were sort of loading and stuff. Is it possible to have gotten a sort of eye on what kind of stuff they're carrying?
It's some kind of ore. Yes, so broken up rock with veins of some metallic substance through it.
What you would expect from a mining camp?
Indeed.
I had a question about the pickpocketing.
Okay.
All of us were pickpocketed?
No, there was just one person lost that. What did we say? Was it 10 gold pieces?
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
No problem. And yes, you notice something a bit different. The overseer, Dasko, whilst seeming practical and in charge of a big, important, busy mining operation here, seemed reasonably friendly last night. But this morning, he's very he's being really hard driving like Taskmaster, and he actually almost like shoves one of the miners roughly when they're falling behind a little bit to catch up and get in line to set off. He's like, "No, there's no time wasting. Get going now."
Out of concern for the speed and us getting where we need to go, or is he being a dick?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. All right, now. Dirty 20, 16 plus 4.
Nice. He seems more irritable than he needs to be.
I think Zakata just ask, like, if he's yelling, and especially if he's saying, like, we're in a hurry, we've got no time to waste, like, Zakata will go up to him and be like, is there something that we need to be rushing for?
You think a place like this runs itself? We're going to get this ore to the city as quickly as possible. And you are very privileged to be here in this caravan and have passage with us. Whatever you call yourself, Lightbringer.
Indeed we are, and we'll endeavor to stay out of your way and not slow you down. I was merely concerned if there was some danger, but if it's supply lines, then we'll leave it to you.
Then quit flapping your mask and get gone.
Another bow.
I'm gonna ask the group this. I was like, when you come back over, and it's like, well, that didn't exactly help. Carver sort of is, do they remind you of when we were in? Was it Stone the first time we was in there? We were chasing Floki around, and everybody was just like super ticked off. And Gracklestuck, thank you. Everybody was just like super irritable and like ticked off for no reason.
Yeah, I'll say with that dirty 20 on the insights, it does remind you of that. Yeah.
Yes, I'm putting that out there. Especially if that's where we're headed to Bleeding Stone. That's where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to make sure I was getting the names. There's a lot of syllables.
There are. there are. Okay. Hey, at least we're not dealing with the fish people anymore.
I could have done
Just anything but KOTOR names. Anything but KOTOR names, please. Okay, so you get yourselves sorted, and the caravan rumbles into motion and off into the passageways around the mining complex and off towards the big city itself. As I come over here. Boop. Okay. So, the Sverfneblin are almost completely silent as they're traveling. They're not chatting amongst themselves or anything. They're just cautiously looking around. Scouts at the head of the caravan move up to any intersecting tunnels and corridors ahead of the caravan and double check that there's not going to be any kind of ambush or marauding beast come rampaging through before waving the wagons forward to continue the journey. Is there anything you'd like to do on the way?
I'd like to just also keep an eye out. I'm sure that the caravan folks are familiar with this route, but
yep.
We just also like to sort of keep an eye on our surroundings and make sure that things are boring. Zakhan likes boring. His past 10 days getting to Blingman Stone would be great.
Right?
Could I set a reaction? Like beforehand, especially after we found out somebody in our specific party was pickpocketed. I said when we started that Corbin has been like a little more on guard than they normally are, and wanted to know if I could set my halo of spores like as a reaction if something like seriously like pops off and something comes towards us, then they would be able to use the the presence of spores that's kind of always around them now,
sure.
As the reaction, as the ranged attack that it is.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's anyone that moves aggressively towards your group, yeah, that's fine.
Awesome.
And you. Hang on a second. Yes, you continue forward, alert. Zakhan, can you give me a perception check there?
Sure thing. My dice out.
Yeah, I think Laura's trying. I don't know. Can I understand their language? Are they speaking in common, or I wouldn't be able to understand language between all of them?
Good question. Sorry, excuse me if I'm a slow jumping to check something. I moved my screens around so I could get better lighting and not be lurking in the dark, in the Underdark. Apt though that was. Let's see. Well, that's not helpful. Jimja, no. Turvy, don't let me down. This is common. I don't think that's the only thing that they speak. That can't be right. There we go. Actually, the deep gnomes. Excuse me a moment. Excuse me. Thank you very much. This is cave dust. They speak Gnomish, Terran, and Undercommon, but they do not speak Common. So they're chatting.
We're just sort of interpreting for Laura.
Yeah.
Yes, Zakhan. Yeah, you can understand them when they're chatting, and Corbin, you too. From time to time, although I think. Let's have a look here. Made a little dice roll here.
It's important to remember that very frequently Laura has no idea what's being said.
Yeah, right.
But just looks intimidating.
I think they do actually notice you picking up on things that they're saying in Undercommon, and they actually switch to Gnomish. They actually.
Yeah, because I think Zakhan would have approached and talked to the leader in Undercommon.
Yes. Yeah, that too. So
Once
they'll
you're
be...
speaking, but no sound is coming out.
Sorry, I keep forgetting my mic is like muting, but not Zoom is muting. You said they switched to Gnomish.
Yes.
I know Gnomish.
Hey.
God damn it.
I also know Undercommon, so I understood them too.
Yeah.
For sure, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, but Corbin is specifically being kind of like standoffish and just listening and watching, like not interacting at all.
Yeah, like I'm not
No,
trying
I checked.
to.
I checked. No, it's fine. No, it's okay. I checked both times, and they noticed you reacting and understanding them speaking
Okay.
Undercommon. They did not notice that you understood Gnomish. Otherwise,
Okay.
they had one more language that I could have switched into. So yeah, you are able to listen into them as they're speaking Gnomish to each other, and it's not nothing.
On the perception check, it was a 23.
Oh, thank you. It's nothing sinister, Corbin. They're just being private, you know.
Yeah, and they kind of zone out. They really kind of only listen unless it gets hostile sounding like, and then we're gonna meet them after the bridge after they all go to sleep tonight. I'm like, they're gonna what?
Yes.
Are they shit talking anyone though? Because that's that. I mean, if you switch languages like in a public setting, it's usually to shit talk.
No, they are.
What's the tea?
They are being very out here in the tunnels, like away from any of their guards and any of their settlements. They are being very focused, and they're just talking about security and discussing.
But trying to keep it like we're discussing this is protection things, and not everybody needs to know. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Just chatting amongst themselves.
Fire escape, though.
Yeah, and again, it ties into that feeling that you had before about how they're very standoffish and wanting to be separate. So they're doing it on purpose that way, just so as to be exclusive. So Zakan, with that roll there, you notice a few creepy crawlies. There's a couple of albino lizards that go all starry-eyed at the look at the giant cave livers. They're like, senpai, but then they disappear off. And then and there are a few spiders who also see Webster and go, senpai, and also scatter off. They get they get a bit of a complex about these big beefy boys that are traveling with you. He's like, one day I hope to be so mighty. But they all go scuttling off about their business. Nothing aggressive for after the caravan. You pass through a couple of caverns that have clearly been emptied. There are remnants, like residues and little markings on the sides of the walls that you notice, Zakan, that are reminiscent of where you got the pomegranates, the exploding crystals. And perhaps not the same kind of crystal, but definitely crystal caverns which were having deposits of gemstones and things throughout them, but they've been completely cleaned out and taken by the Sverfneblin, you would assume. And after a couple of hours, it is a decent journey to the city itself. These various outlying posts are far away, because anything else could be accessed from the city direct.
As a con said, to make sure you use the bathroom first.
Indeed. Yes, you don't whatever it is that Sirenscape's playing off in the distance. You don't want to go off to the bar for a bathroom break and meet one of those. But that's as close as they seem to be coming. And you do arrive at the outskirts of Blingden Stone proper. As you find yourselves approaching the city, you can see that there is a large stone wall, the edge of the cavern, and leading up to it at a strange, awkward distance, because they're built for Sverfneblin, walking speed and length of stride, and they're just that awkward height of step, for medium-sized creatures. the Swift Neblin with you are fine. Webster's fine. But this long stairway leads up to a large gate set in the stone, and you can see several. Oh, sorry, just before I continue this description, let me give a quick welcome to all of the wonderful people from Careful Cantrip. Thank you, Raiders, and thank you for that follow, Crimson Rockstar. Yes, dear Raiders, we are here in the Underdark, just arriving at the outskirts of... thank you for the follow, thank you. B-Town MC. We are just arriving here at the outskirts of Blingdenstone, the deep gnome Sverfneblin place. Thank you, Paul. Welcome in, welcome in. Everyone who's jumped in with the follows here, do keep a lookout on your Twitch whispers later. I'll give you a followers Discord invite, just in case. Nice name, like that. Okay, welcome in, Raiders. Good to see you as well. Thank you, Crimson Rockstar. And we got Big Tilly. Hello, welcome in. Thank you. Wow, thank you. And Bits as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay. Welcome in. We are just arriving. Wow, so many followers. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Everyone, let us return that favor and give a quick shout out here to the lovely people at Careful Cantrip. I hope you had a fantastic session, everybody. Just a quick shout out here. Thank you so much for all these follows and everything. Do, as I say, keep an eye out for the Discord invite later on, and you can jump in and enjoy all of the things that we have going on. Boop. So, all right there. I hope you had a fantastic session as well. What were you playing? I hope you had a good one. We are playing, as you can see, Out of the Abyss, arriving at the Sverfneblin city and delving into what it has to offer here for the first time. So yes, you see this large sweeping staircase up to the main gates at the entrance way to the city proper, and you can see arrayed there, not hiding away or anything because they see you coming. You can see the Sverfneblin guards standing in front of these massive gates and clearly waiting for you to arrive. And just as we can welcome in these raiders and everybody, let us welcome you to a new map as well as we arrive at Blingdenstone. Boop. Now it doesn't have dynamic lighting on, but do you still need that to see, or can you see that fine? Players.
Right.
I can see all right.
You can see it fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, I figured. I mean, you have access to them and the maps and things that they would have of the place, so I don't need to hide it away behind dynamic lighting. So this is the entrance here, and you see the Sverfneblin they go into business mode, and the caravan leader comes over to you all, and he's like, right. Thank you for escorting us here and getting all of this ore to the city without any issue. And so he's talking to you, Zakan.
Likewise, we appreciate
There's that microphone thing. Ouch.
No.
Sorry, everybody.
Sorry about that.
Buds.
On a man's. Alright, we're all here. Right.
So all the tech goblins reared up and like, charge!
Yeah, just all at once.
All at once.
But yeah, they offer their little bowing. Likewise, we appreciate the guidance and allowing us to travel with you. If I may ask, do you know of a Kazook Big Shine and where we might find him? We have a delivery.
We are based out in the mines. We don't know where everyone is in the city. You'll have to ask some of the folk inside.
We'll happily do so.
And he's like, right, you lot, let's get that ore loaded up. Right, into the lift. And you see them all very industriously setting to work and getting everything sorted here. Boop, as I get the cameras sorted here. And you see them loading all of the various mine and ore and carts that have come with the caravan into some kind of apparatus which is on the edge of the entranceway here. And you can see let's see here. Yes, the wagons are rolled up onto stone sleds, and then lashed down to that, and then drawn up into a steep tunnel, just big enough for the carts, by some, large mechanism that starts rumbling into motion as you are waiting here. And let's have a look here. Yeah, and then to the right of that, as we can see on the map there, there is that large, broad terrace, which is at the top of this staircase. Now, you are kind of gestured in that direction as they're busily loading all of the mine and ore delivery that they have brought from the outskirts, and you clamber your way up the steps, and you see the guards standing at the top. There are 8 guards arrayed in front of a very impressive set of large doors. They're made of steel, solid steel doors, and they're inlaid with swirling patterns of mithril and some other precious metals, creating this beautiful design on the main doors there. And you clamber up the long 300-foot set of steps, as we can see there. And whoever the head guard is here, he steps forward, and he's like, "Now then, who are you all, and what are you doing here?" Speak up.
We have come to bring some who were captured by the drow back home. It has been a long journey, and they would merely wish to rest and recover here in Blingdenstone.
Right. Well, bring them forward then.
Motions over towards Jimjar.
Yep, and Jimjar and Topsy-Turvy a bit more, cautiously, kind of hanging back a bit, come to the front, and Jimjar's like, right, I'm Jimjar. I've been absent for quite some time, but I'm from Blingdenstone myself, and it's good to be back. And the guard nods at him, and he looks back at you, Zakan. And the rest of you, what's your story?
We were similarly captured by the drow, broke out of their slave camp together, and have been gradually bringing people back to where they needed to be. We would, if allowed, spend some time in Outer Blingdenstone to do a little bit of trading and perhaps arrange transport to the surface or onto Mithril Hall.
Well, there's nothing out here for you. It's just tunnels and caves. Come in. I think you should relate your story to the chief. And Jimjar's like, how is old Digger MacDuck? I hope he's doing alright. The challenges of reclaiming the city are ongoing. But all of you. And he gestures to 4 of the guards. You lot, take them through the maze into the city. And they nod. Alright, yeah, alright. And there is a gesture towards the rock face where someone is clearly watching from the interior somewhere, and again you hear a mechanism rumble into motion, and the large metallic doors ponderously swing open, and you are faced with the first line of defense that Blingdenstone has, which, as you can see here, is this maze-like warren of tunnels, which the guards lead you, 2 of them at the front, 2 of them at the back. They're leading you through those tunnels there.
Is there like because this is one of the places that Zakan spent a decent amount of time in, but as you were saying on a past session, like they haven't been here, for quite a while.
Yep.
Is there like a gesture of like respect or reverence, but maybe it's one that's like outdated?
I mean, not officially, but let's make one. I like that idea. What do you think it would be?
Yeah, so maybe they just do like some kind of, I don't know, like touching the forehead and bowing or something,
Mm-hmm.
and like this captain of the guard who was maybe a child when people were doing that, would just see it.
Yeah, he kind of like
You
snorts
old.
snorts a little bit of laughter to himself. He's like, "Hi, and do you?" And you.
Puppies. We're seeing Zakan do that.
Alora, who doesn't know what anyone is saying, is like, "Oh, are we doing this?"
No.
It was like I saw so many people here during the end where those of you who've come in with the raid and stuff. I'm in Japan. When we had the Rugby World Cup here, there were so many people like doing the Thai, like clasped hands.
Oh, you see that
Thank
so
you.
much.
It's like no, they don't do that. They don't do that here. Never mind.
They do think it's funny if you do it though,
True.
because they do it because of Thailand.
Exactly. Right. Okay. So yes, you are led into the warren of the maze, which is in front of you there. So yeah, between the main gates and Blingderstone proper, the Sverfneblin have built this maze, which is a twisting, turning path that runs between 10-foot-high walls, studded with nails. So you have to be careful not to snag yourself on the sides as you're going through.
Where's Ignatius when you need him, and the fact that he can't get lost in a maze?
Yes, Minotaur buddies would be useful. Well, you have guides. It's okay.
Wait, is that a legit
Right,
feature for the Minotaur race in D&D?
I
What is,
I wonder.
And
what
for
is
the
just making it
Outlander,
funny?
and it's for the Outlander. It's definitely something for that. But I think Minotaurs they're really good at. I think they naturally have that feature.
Incredible.
I'm remembering correctly.
Zakan is an
So
Outlander.
it's like-
I'm going to look at their racial traits. Hang on 2 seconds. I'm too curious.
Yeah, so I have the Outlander thing for Zakan, just due to the nature of what they do.
Okay. I mean, I think that's in the lore, but it's not mechanically speaking. There's nothing. All of his racial traits are just aggressive fucking things. It's got horns, goring rush, hammering horns, and imposing presence. So,
Yeah, I guess historically, if the Minotaur could have found his way out of the labyrinth, it would have made the labyrinth kind of meaningless.
just a cool thing to have in the town. All right, so I think during that Chicenta's Tyranny game that we're doing, which is based, that whole region is kind of ancient Greek style, we're definitely able to have something like that. Okay, so yes, you do continue on and make your way through into the maze here. The guards are kind of like warning you about various things to watch out for, and there are a few sections where the path slopes down into a trough, and they point out that these sections can be flooded or filled with poisonous smoke. As they're just, because I mean, it's not giving away any secrets or anything, right? They're just showing how defended things are, and how stupid it would be to try and do anything
So
aggressive.
Zakan is like interpreting this for Alora and probably like Eldith and a couple of the other ones who speak common.
And in many ways, we are actually quite lucky that Ignatius isn't here, because there are several parts where the passageway gets very, very small, and all the Sverfneblin can go through no problem, but the three of you have to squeeze through.
And Ignatius is literally 8 feet tall.
You have those mushrooms, though.
True, that's true.
You just make him 4 feet.
But and you have to kind of get the agreement of the guards, because up on the top of those 10-foot walls, every now and then you do spy other Sverfneblin guards with crossbows and things looking down on you, and you have to get permission for Webster to clamber up and over those narrow sections, because he can't get his big fuzzy butt through those. And you are heading through in that direction. And let's have a look here.
So I guess as we're sort of winding through this like very imposing tunnel, Zakan, like in common, will sort of address the group and be like, "How much do all of you know about the history of this city, about the Sverfnebelin and what they have been through?"
Jim Jar, your top center, will be like, "Well, we know." Oh well,
I should hope so.
When you say history, how far back?
Well, a good deal back, but before the fall of the city.
Oh, that doesn't matter. No,
Yes.
nothing. Regale us with your knowledge, Zakan.
I really know nothing. Like, I know nothing of all the other places we've been to. I'm really just following everyone's lead here.
The Sverfnebelin don't have much of an interest in their own history, but, well, the reason that we are going through this trap-filled labyrinth of spiky walls is that the city, until very recently, had fallen to the drow. They have been attempting to reclaim it, but it's been a slow and dangerous process with many losses.
Indeed. Love how Finn's like, "Daddy's telling a story, I shall help."
Yeah, you can help out.
Apparently not.
Come here. Come here. No.
Okay. So you, you regale the story to them all here, and I mean, Jim Jar will say, "Well, the maze was here before. That's always been here. It's just because it's this whole place is so bloody dangerous."
Jimjar, were you in the city when it was still obscured from outsiders?
No. I was born on the surface and came back when the expedition first arrived.
Oh, interesting. So,
How
when
old
the
do you
city
think I am?
opened-
How old do I look? I thought I'd been taking care of my skin quite nicely.
Oh, I don't track ages for the different races that well, but... What, you're 22, 23?
Thereabouts. And yes, you continue curling this way and that, looping back on yourselves many times. You can see the second path up above where Webster has clambered up a couple of times, but it's just bristling with towers and battlements. You can see the crenellations on the map there, on the various points where the defenders can fire freely at any invaders that would be trying to make their way through. There is... let's see here.
That is, all of this history lesson, as Jim Jar would put it, is to say that these are people who are closely guarded, as you may have noticed during our caravan. They protect themselves, and they have good reason to. They've been through a lot.
It's true. Jim Jar's like, yeah. Yeah, we've been put through the ringer. It's but we're slowly getting back on track, and I'll bet you any money that this whole entire city will be ours again soon. And that's when you arrive at another imposing door, and Jim Jar's like, now just to get through the gauntlets, and then we'll be inside.
Excuse me?
Isn't it comic? D&D comics, like, that map is super complicated. It's like, yep. On purpose. It is a maze, and this whole city is built in just natural caverns and things, so it's a bit gizzer. Yes, so here, if I'm pinging on the map here, this is the gauntlet. Again, being friendly and with guides is a boon here as you are let through the mechanized doors again, and as you enter into this long winding tunnel, fairly wide across compared to other parts of the maze that you've just went through, you find yourself looking up at two gate towers that flank the big stone door, and you can see various Sverfnebelin peering through the little windows and openings on the towers there to catch a glimpse of these new arrivals. And as you approach with your gnome escort, the gates do swing open, and you enter into the tunnel, which is it's 30 foot tall. So it's really long, kind of almost like a chasm here, that winds through this last part of the cavern before the city proper. And all of the walls are studded with gemstones. And let's have a look here.
Jinja, cards on the table, if
Yeah.
we may, so to speak.
What's up?
Do you have any particular connections, royal, criminal, otherwise, in the city that we should know about before we go in?
No. The rest of my family decided to stay up on the surface. You know me. I'm more of a gambling man, so I thought I'd take the chance.
You're not the heir to any sort of fallen kingdom, or, the escaped inheritor to a criminal enterprise. None of that.
No. I'll leave that up to these two. And points at Laura and Corbin.
Side eyes. So Jinja, are
At
you
least
sure
they
to make a bet?
know. At least they.
Oh, where are my manners, Laura? I should be announcing your arrival. Would you like me to be your
I'll be
herald?
announcing your arrival out the door in a minute. You keep up with that.
Oh,
Corbin
it's all right,
like
it's all right.
nudges Alora and is like, at least they know that we would be the ones supposed to be talking about it.
But I mean, jokes aside, Laura. I mean, when we're talking with the chiefs, it might be quite useful. Ruling
it's not my
power to
title.
ruling power.
If I have to, I would resort to that, but it's truly not my title, so I don't plan to
All right.
play
All right.
dress up as a royal here.
Traveling incognito.
Right.
Laura may well be the only power that we have in terms of negotiation. As you may have noticed, even if my name is known, it's tolerated. I don't have any actual authority.
All right.
Well, we have information for them about a very incoming threat at the moment that maybe could give us some.
Well, yeah, we'll see how they react to that. I mean,
Especially if Corbin's suspicions are right.
they're rather focused on the threats that they face within the city than those without, Last time we muddled ourselves up in the affairs of other folks down here in the Underdark, that's what got us exterminated.
The Swift never would want to know that it would result that way.
I fucking hate Drow. Except Drow now, if she's still in chat. She's lovely. But all the others, they can just go swing.
In my experience, they are people like anyone else, and outside of the city, and outside of its control, they are much the same as the rest of us.
True. But, I don't know. I suppose Sareth was alright before he went a bit shroomy. But, I shouldn't judge for that, eh, Laura? He almost lost you the same way.
Right. I think it would have been much worse than a little dance with my friends.
Hey, can you imagine? Yeah, imagine that combination of all that, that eldritch mushroom energy with the skills of the finisher. Would have been lethal.
I wonder what would have happened to Dawnbringer in that case.
Well, Your Highness, I'm always willing to step up and take on the responsibilities of that fine blade. And I would have put you down. I bet.
Good to know, but I think in my will I have Dawnbringer down for Zakan. Yeah,
Oh.
it's fitting.
Come on.
I have some gold for you, don't worry.
Hey. It's like, ka-ching.
All is forgiven. All is forgiven.
And then he stops and thinks about it. He's like, wait, you drawn up a will?
Well, when you've been that close to death that many times, you start to think about things.
Fair enough. And this is just kind of echoing slightly as you're making your way between these gem-studded walls. Actually, Jim Jar points out that those are all spell gems. And if the command word is spoken by the people hiding off behind the walls there, they would all trigger, and everyone would have a very bad time. So, after snaking your way through that last section there, you come to one final imposing set of doors, and beyond those lie the city. So you make your way through, and the guards look to Jimja. Do you know where you're going? I think the chief should hear of everything that has happened to you all. They would want a report on the Drow situation. And Jimja's like, yeah, it's alright, I got it from here. You can shuffle on back to your to your staircase. And they nod. Right. Well, all of you behave. You are unescorted, but you will be observed.
Of course.
And D&D comic, it doesn't get any less complex as we get into the city proper. As you find yourself just in this maze of twisting caverns and these huge pillars, reaching up to the ceiling of the cavern here, with little pinpricks of light dotting them as windows peep out, and various stairways and burrows going down, and little doorways leading into these large columns of rock are all over the place. You can see various Swerfneblin coming and going, making their way around the place, and you have arrived in Blingdenstone. Let's see if we've got some official spiel for you here. Yes, here we go. You leave the dark tunnel of the gauntlets and step into what looks like another world. These aren't sinister drow caverns or harsh bare stone, but it's a subterranean world of warm colours and welcoming smells. The Swerfneblin that you see going about their business glance up at you with suspicion, but you instinctively understand that you face no threat here. One of the guards escorting you abandons his severe frown and gives you a deep nod as he prompts you past the inner gate. As I said, welcome to Blingdenstone, travellers.
We're just doing it everywhere now. Now I know how to be polite. Just need to be polite.
Corbin is.
Your knowledge is like 25 years old, out of date.
Yeah, but I think I'm really pretty.
It's like.
All right. So, you. Who would like to be the? I'll use Jim Jar as the daihyo here. Or should we use Webster? There's a giant spider just running around the place.
Right? How have people been
Webster.
responding to that?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, they use creatures down here all the time.
They just like another beast of burden sort of thing. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Nobody was like. Let's take them out.
No bother. Okay, so yeah, you find yourselves in that kind of open space there where Webster is on the map, and that is like a wide open space here, and you can see. Let's have a look here, and it's pretty busy. There's lots of Swerfneblin coming and going. It's not a noisy, bustling place like Gracklestug was or anything like that. They do tend to keep, relatively calm and quiet about their business. Although that may be because you are all there. And they see you there. And if you have a kind of peer around there, you can see that there are a couple of tunnels sealed off to the north of the map there. The north is actually skewed like round to 3 o'clock on this map, but I'll just refer to it like as if it was a normally aligned map, okay? Just for the sake of that. So there's a few things sealed off to the north as you're looking at it there. A couple of things, sealed off with large doors, and then you notice a couple of tunnels as you see, like to the northwest of Webster there, that are actually sealed with cave-ins. Where the tunnels have been deliberately brought down and blocked. And the gates that are closed are guarded as well. So, what would you like to do?
I mean, now that we're here, one of the big things was, are we still on the path of warning people about what's going to happen in the Neverlight Grove, like what happened in the Grove?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not to mention it's kind of already sort of showing signs because the people who regularly travel between here are very irritated. They're getting like that. They are prime suspects of carrying an infection between places. You need to talk to either the guild in charge of the caravans and trading, or we have to try to get our way to somebody who can direct the flow of traffic.
And Jim Jar was somewhat familiar with at least one of the chiefs here.
He knows who's in charge. Yeah. Yeah, right, Drow. Really cool map.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a good place to start, and I think talking to the Caravan Guild and seeing what the trade routes have been like is a very good idea. Cool.
Buns, is there any way you can get yourself a bit louder? So it's a little bit quiet. I brought the sound effects down some. Oh yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone, give me a shout.
My mic fell into my giant koala. My mic fell into my giant koala.
That happens.
So,
that happens.
It's
normal streaming stuff.
Look at him. He's been punished.
Oh, he's so big.
It's fine.
It is a giant koala.
He's like 5 times the size of a normal koala. Way bigger than a normal koala.
Wow.
Seems to have soothed him. He's not as vicious as a normal koala.
Yeah.
There you go. How's that level now, guys? Brought Sirenscape down a bit. Drop better
Hopefully it's
sighted.
better. Sorry,
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
I had Sirenscape too loud as well. Sorry. One thing with the new layouts here. Oh, another raid, and from our good friends over at Hope for TTRPGs. Is that you, Hope? A pleasure to see you. Welcome on in, everyone. I hope you had a lovely session. Just do a quick shout here. We have just arrived in the deep gnome city of Bringdenstone. Hey, Hope. Everyone, do check out Hope for TTRPGs, a fantastic force of good in the TTRPG space here, and someone we have been lucky enough to have as a guest on our channel for a one-shot in the days gone by, and I hope to have them back again in the future. Thank you for raiding on through, everyone. Hope you had a great time in your session too. TTRPGs. Boop. There's that shout-out. What was going on? Some tabletop RPGs going on. Good to see. Oh, thank you, Drow. Okay, so yeah, the players are balanced now, and it's just I had Sirenscape up too loud. Sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. I've got it quieter in my headphones so I don't notice. So just do shout at me in chat if it ever gets too much, and I will chill it out. No, you're very welcome, Hope. My pleasure. Good to see you. All right, now let us have a look what is going on here. So yeah, you are headed to the chief's chambers, which is where? Hang on, let's find my sorry, new city for me too. get our bearings here. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Oh, there we go. Okay. So yes, you make your way through, and there are all sorts of little smithies and shops carved out of the stones here, and the various Sverfneblin are coming and going. All of them, fairly ruggedly attired. This is a city of miners and people who work with their hands and things very clearly. And Jimja is looking around, smiling. The Topsy and Turvy are being very cautious and kind of huddling in the middle of the group, away from others. And you are making your way through the twisting passageways and caverns of the Deep Gnome City. Eventually, anything you would like to do on the way? You all good?
I think we're just going there first, huh?
Okay.
It's like the first time in a while that we can be decently sure that the drow are not pursuing us.
Yes, you are pretty sure that they would not be able to get in here by any means. There's only one drow that's been welcomed here, and he kicked off the whole mess that got them all in all that hot bother. A famous drow with a big black panther.
Like the Commodore Perry of this city.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Now, you actually head south on the map as we're looking at it here, winding your way around there. Let's... I'm going, like regular cardinal directions. So... let me see. Yeah, so you end up down here first. As it keeps going. I might zoom out even further for you guys at home, so you can see more. Oop, there's a lot of it. Does our good friend Webster show up properly there? Let's put them over there. Okay, so yeah, you're making. Say again, Aurora, sorry?
I can only see a giant Webster on the map.
You can't see the map itself?
No, I only see Webster, on the map, out of all the tokens.
Oh yeah. I just
just Webster
him.
right there.
Yep. I just used him to mark where you were.
Got it.
Yeah.
Webster's big day out.
All right.
Little giant spider about town.
The inner Blingden Stone is about to learn some things.
And you are heading down in that direction. You make your way through. Jimjar points out that area that you're passing through there, where Webster's token is the residential area. And you can see that the caverns here branch off into smaller caves that serve as little tucked away hidey holes for families of Sverfneblin. Just a friendly neighborhood spider. ... Yes, Joe, nice. And you can see that very different to any other habitation that you've been in. The tunnels lead off into secondary chambers and things, into more homes and things here. But all of the Deep Gnome houses and things don't have any doors. They're all just open, openings in the rock face. And let's have a look here. I think Jimjar, kind of wanting to get the lay of the land here, kind of says to chatting to folks as you go by. He's like, "Hey, you right there? How's it going? Yeah, well, just passing through, just off to see the chief." And it's just being chatty and stuff. And he stops to talk with a couple of folks, and he comes back over. He's like, "Oh, I see the old place has still got lots of the old problems." And he points.
What problems? Those.
He points over to a nearby spot, like over here, one of these openings in the side there. He's like, one of the houses had to be abandoned over there. The family had to move out because Well, you know how it is. When there's a traumatic event that happens and massive loss of life, some of those spirits like to, hang around. There are several ghosts of the previous residents kicking about the place. It's one of the challenges that we face when we're, trying to repopulate.
I suppose there were thousands who were killed in the fall of the city.
Aye, they were. It was, I was just chatting to that fellow over there. He was saying that they didn't realise that this particular bit was haunted until a family moved in. More and more families are arriving from the surface and from the Dwarven citadels, and we need to expand and move out as much as possible. And it wasn't until one of these families moved in that they triggered the restless spirit, shall we say. Started terrorising anyone that came close to the house. Yes. Let's look here.
You can get real estate a lot cheaper if it's haunted, though.
I feel like this is the wrong group of people because we're not going to be like, oh, we're totally going to fight those ghosts. Nah.
Yeah, there was like a group consensus where we're like, that sucks.
I've been we just
Unspoken note. This unspoken note.
Yeah.
no to the side quest.
Like just pats him on the shoulder. That's rough, buddy.
Sounds like you need
go
to
and
find
talk to the
another
chief.
group of adventurers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chief's gonna be like, I'll help you out, but you have to help us out with this ghost problem. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like,
There we go.
all three of us just be like, there it is. It's so close.
Jim Jazz like, actually, if you're interested, on the way down to the chief's spots, we'll go past the speaking stones.
The speaking stuff.
Yeah, you're up for a bit of tourism.
they are quite
Good
renowned.
way.
And he kind of leads you round out of that residential area and into this larger cavern just here to the south, where it's carved into the rock face there. And as you enter into the space there, you can see there is a circle of stone menhirs. And Jimjar points out that they predate Blingdenstone itself. They were here when the city was first established. It's one of the few things, big things like that they remember. Everything else gets lost to the mists of time. But Jimjar talks about that, and let's have a look. Yeah, so there's a small cavern with these standing stones circling in the middle there, and Jimjar laughs. He's like, we have a story. Stories tend to last a bit longer than actual history, around these parts. But there's actually a story that these are actually a cluster of ancient Galabdur, like we saw guarding the mines.
Are they sentient? I confess my previous trips to the city were merely to escort people safely to a caravan, but obviously the Sverfnebben weren't very forthcoming with a tour of the city.
Oh, just a moment as he waves at like a passing Sverfnebben. Hey, Cryo75, how you doing? Yeah, welcome. It's good to see you. And he points out, it actually goes to you, Corbin. And he's like, well, it might be something that you're interested in. It's the Stoneheart Conclave that's connected with this place.
Like connected to this place?
I mean, they commune with the stones. They get the messages and the auguries from the nature. Aren't you fussing with all that?
I keep trying to explain to people that Corbin does not understand they're doing magic.
Yeah.
But they're like,
but he's just
I mean,
saying
yeah,
what he's
things
saying.
have been kind of kind of weird ever since, especially after I merged with the grove. So I guess in a way I kind of merged with the other thing. So can I merge with other places? Is that can I multi-merge?
See, like Zakan's body language like stiffen.
At the question of multi-merging. Please stop
become
merging
ruler
with
of the
all of the
Underdark.
Underdark.
Yeah, have
Don't
all
worry
of the-
about it.
Yeah.
But I would like to touch it.
He's like,
Ask it a few questions.
well, if it's anything like it was when I was back here before before going on my adventures, there should be a member of the druids, looking over the stones if you want to go and check them out.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And I like lean over to Allura and it's like, maybe I can find out what a druid is.
I mean, they're similar to you. Yeah, they've got this kind of connection with the stone and the earth that like you have with the mushrooms.
Okay, I'm totally down for it. No, it was more of a joke than not. It's just they're like saying that like specifically to me. Like,
Yeah.
let's go, let's do this, let's go.
Yeah. Nice to explore and feel safe for once.
And he leads you
And
into
I won't randomly drink any water. Quick, no, I won't drink anything.
There is no pool of water or anything here for you to be pressured into exploring.
But it was for the bits.
It was
for the bits.
For the bits.
Do it for the bits.
What's extra funny about Corbin not knowing anything about how their magic works is that Zakan doesn't know how their magic works either.
And it seems to be working out just fine.
Yeah.
Accidental
Like they were
casters are the
just
best
born
casters.
with it. So
Yep. So far, so good. Okay.
taught it by an angel, like, what are you gonna do?
Like,
So yeah, you make your way into the cavern, and you see this ring of kind of amorphous, stone shapes in a rough circle in the center, and there is a cowled, hooded Sverfneblin leaning on a thick Zirkwood staff, with their back to you, and Jim Jar's like, there he is. His name's Gurnik.
you say Gurney?
Gurnik.
Gurnick.
Gurnip
Gurnip.
Tapfinger. He's the head priest of Caladoran Smoothhands. The Stoneheart Enclave kind of drew the old gnomish gods into themselves. They're kind of worshipping that as a whole. All the old Sverfneblin gods are all to do with earth and stone anyway. So it was kind of a natural fit.
Just like bent it. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So
So yeah, off you pop.
gotta go say hi.
And you go over there and you see this figure is just kind of gently rocking back and forth, and they're like,
They don't want to interrupt him. It's like I'll wait till they're dead.
and then just like one eye like squints open. He's like, oh, you're right.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't gonna. You can finish if you.
That's all right.
Is that gonna take a long time?
No, I'm all done. I was just having a quick come here, Where are you from,
Yeah,
child?
no, actually I don't. That's the thing. You could tell me. You merging, just another merge, but were you also badly injured and needed to merge with the earth in order to heal yourself? Because so did I.
There have been incidents where I've required healing, and the earth has provided. But
How did you thank the earth? Because I have said thank you, but I haven't really been able to like talk to. Like, does it understand? Do you understand me? They're like talking to the ground.
and he let's have a look here.
Like he definitely can like feel like the druid energy coming off of them, and they're just like puzzled.
Yeah. He's like, that's a curious thing. And he like points up, and your spinner, the reacts to the phaserous energies, just going quite mental. Yeah, it's like spinning around.
I'm so used to it now. It just be like,
Yeah. Right? He's like, does that always spin on its own?
only when I'm around large deposits of phosphorus chemicals. Phasers. I keep saying phosphorus.
Phosphorus. Yes.
I thought that was Corbin just saying it wrong.
It's a real word, though.
Oh,
Yep, they just say
It's
they
for
just always say
detecting
phosphorus.
energy.
It's for phosphorus.
Well, this
Very confidently.
this holy site is indeed a large source of magical energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Maybe the stones called to you and brought you here. Maybe you're the answer to our troubles.
What
you
are
kind
the
of-
trouble?
He looks past you at the others who are kind of like milling around in the entrance to the cave, and he's like, "No, you look like a band of adventurers if I've ever seen one."
Yeah, that's a Laura, and that's a Khan, and that they just start like just name people.
Hello.
And that's Topsy, and that's Turby, and that's and the big guy is Webster.
Oh, your friend Laura there seems to know the old ways.
Yes, I've been taught well. And
I was so right.
This guy appreciates it because he's old.
He gets it.
Yeah.
This guy gets it.
Kids these days, they don't know how to change life.
He scowls at Topsy and Turvy. It seems
You thought it.
the stones have delivered our salvation once more. If you're willing,
Like turns to the others. Guys, I think we did it.
if you're willing, there is something that you could do for me. Then perhaps we could talk some more.
Okay.
As these ghosts are taking up residence in houses.
So I don't care about this.
Steven, I swear to Bob.
There is one of the areas of the city that we still haven't reclaimed fully. It's called Rockblight.
Rockwood.
You'll get used to that. All the names around here, all the people, all the places, they're very on the nose.
Got you.
And
Well, I
He's
do
like-
have had a lot of people call me flighty, so suddenly Corbin makes a lot more sense.
there you go. There you go.
I'm not part of the city planning committee. I don't do any of the names.
I don't do any of the naming.
Yes, if it's within your abilities and if you're willing to help us out, then off in the area of Rockblight, there is a temple of my god, desecrated and left abandoned.
Would you like me to recreate it?
Consecrate.
Consecrate.
Aye, indeed. If you take
How
this...
would I do that? Oh, okay, there we go. This is all in character, the way they're
Yeah,
acting,
yeah.
but then there it is, okay.
new conversation tree options appear.
And they do it every time.
Hey, guys,
I'm like, how?
I'm finally doing it. I'm playing Mass Effect. Finally seeing what all the fuss is about. And I'm not sure if I'm choosing the wrong options or not, but I can keep getting the NPCs killed. But hey, never mind. Let's see, I'm about on par with you guys here, losing NPCs. So yes, he brings forth this large ruby. He's like, this is a spell gem, charged with magics of my order, and of the earth itself, that shall make the site holy once more. There is a stone in the temple, the Steadfast Stone. If you place this gem in the stone, in an opening on the side, it will trigger the effects. But I must warn you. Are you familiar with Ogremox?
Gesundheit.
Clearly not. You must have. You
Well,
must have.
can I roll history? Have I? Would I?
There's no way you would have.
Okay, yeah.
This is very specific.
Does Zakan know, like, from where they are, 10 meters behind, and he's just sort of listening?
This is a recent Blingdenstone problem, I'm afraid.
Okay.
So before, after,
Then he,
after
like,
your
Corbin,
time.
like, looks back, like, and Zakan's like,
Those are my favorite moments of them. Just both confused.
Yeah, right. He's like, oh, you must be recently arrived.
Yes, about. It's been at least 2 months.
Actually, Zagan, sorry, I did you an injustice there. This is a little older than I thought. Give me a history check, see if you'd found out, if you had heard about it.
Ooh.
That's this is one of my specific connection places, I suppose.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, this is actually a century old, sorry. My bad.
Oh, wow. That's a 16.
Okay. You've heard the name, Ogremox Bane is the full name. But you don't know too many of the details. You know that it's some strange drifting cloud which is thought to be sentient. And it causes all kinds of problems for the Surf Neblin. But it's okay, because we have a little exposition fellow here to help you out.
Yeah.
He's like, as I was saying, before your friend over there had a glimmer of recognition. Yes, Ogremox Bane is this strange force that exists in the caverns that we have yet to reclaim. Although it is something that has plagued our city for decades and decades. It is focused on that rockblight section of the city. And any elemental creatures that come into contact with it, such as those raised by our order to defend areas of the city and defend from attack, they are taken over. They fall under this creature's control, and we lose control. We don't know what its origins are, but it's something to do with the original Ogremoch. He's a prince of evil earth. One of the more aggressive, unpleasant aspects of our stone existence. You should beware if you seek to reconsecrate the temple for us. Once you hang on, where's it? There we go, jump back here. Once you trigger the spell, I'm afraid Ogremoch will surely send some of its creatures to try and stop you. But if you're able to hold them off, keep them from removing the crystal, the presence of the crystal will awaken some of the original temple's guardians, and they will be able to help you defend yourselves. What say you?
It's just still Corbin up there, right? Like, it's just Corbin and this dude.
I think Alora's just.
Oh, I thought you were up there with me.
You're welcome to have joined them. Yeah, you're just like wandering over. Like it's
I
clearly
thought Zakan was up there with me at this point. Like, hey, I know about that thing you're talking about. Like,
Corbin's just like sat cross-legged on the ground, like taking notes now.
Yeah, I think
totally
it's
would
a
be,
lot
though.
funnier if Zakan's just been like interpreting for the rest of the group like what they hear, and they look back and Corbin's like,
over there rip leading.
help.
Like they're like, I can't hunch my shoulders no more than this. I don't know. Okay, and they're like,
yeah, and Gurnik,
Loki, read
the
it
priest,
back to you.
yeah,
So
the priest Gurnik is like, if you're able to help us out, then I shall introduce you to my brothers and sisters in the Stoneheart Enclave, and I shall lay the blessings of my church upon you, all of you.
Okay. He's like, take it. You take it.
Yeah.
You will take it humbly.
Eldith,
Really?
like, do you think we could get ourselves sorted before you go running off on anything else?
I think all of us could.
Oh yes. If we are going to help, we need to make sure that we are well prepared. So if you have a place where we could rest, it would be greatly appreciated.
Jim Jar's like, well, we're going to go and chat with the chief, so he'll sort that out. You're right, Your Holiness.
Corbin stops because they totally thought that's who this was.
No.
Okay.
No, he's the head priest of one of the churches and part of the
For a
druidic
monk, that is
group.
that's like that's as high as you get for a monk. Though.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, thanks.
Okay, so yes, your side quest log gets an extra entry, and you bid farewell and.
Oh, actually, before we do that,
Yep.
if it's alright,
Yes, of course.
like as the group does their little, joining back with Corbin and stuff, Zakan, does their little old bow and says, "Head priest, if I could ask your wisdom in something."
Yes, of course. What would you like to know?
When we were in Gracklestark, we were able to assist a tribe of stone giants that live there, and their leader, the Stone Speaker, provided us with this. And they bring out the magic stone they received from the Stone Speaker,
Okay.
which it has yet to be revealed in purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They hold it out. They say, knowing that the Swift Neblin are engaged in matters of stone and earth, I thought perhaps you could tell me if it means anything to you. When it was given to us, the Stone Speaker gave us a prophecy. He said, "Cave with two faces, the pebble believing itself flesh. The earth shakes and rejects the stone, and by these portents you shall know of evil's presence and evil's face."
Yes, there have been worrying rumblings in the stone of late. Let me look at that if I can.
He hands it over.
And he holds the stone in one hand. There's this, what does it look like? Hang on. This thing here. It's like this, it looks like a shard of quartz. It's kind of more of a crystal than the stone. And he... Let's have a look here.
Got like my in progress side quests list.
Yeah.
When we enter a new area, I'm like, okay, what do we got here?
He's like, this. He puts out another palm and lays it against one of the big standing stones there. This is something of a similar origin to these stones here. This is a Stone Speaker crystal.
Have
stone
one before.
speaker crystal. Yeah.
I have not, but if you were to use the circle here and make a connection with the stone, its properties will open to you.
See. Well, I'm certainly willing to do such, although, and they look at Corbin, this may be perhaps a connection that you wish to attempt.
I mean, come on. I'm normally the punchy punch one. I don't. Do you really think I could do something else?
I do. I think that there's something awakening within you that is connected to this place.
Oh, well, my character sheet.
If they receive the crystal back.
I was just making sure you had spells, attunement slots open. You do. Your arm blade wasn't attuned, by the way, so...
Well, it wasn't? Wait.
No, and your armor wasn't equipped either. You have one extra armor class.
This whole time.
Just sitting there. That would have helped me probably so much.
Once or twice.
You've been wearing your armor like inappropriately, like it's kind of like not fastened right.
Backwards.
Corbin has flashbacks all the time. And he said, "Meets it,
that's
beats
canon.
it." Like, damn it.
That's what's been happening. Someone
Yeah.
finally came over and went, "You've been doing this wrong."
Like tightens your straps. Like, what is this? This is open.
It's like, why is this just in your backpack? You should wear this.
Ever worn armor
Oh,
before?
jeez. No.
Zakan and Laura, you two, make sure if you have items in your inventory, make sure they are checked. The checkboxes next to them are checked for them to
Arm blade
register.
is officially attuned.
Yes, it's in there now.
And you said my mace didn't need attunement, so
No, it's all good. You've got 2 slots for it. You're good.
Yeah, so Zakan, I think, presses the crystal like into Corbin's hands, and they say, "See what you can feel. Open yourself."
Oh,
The one time that I will say this thing. Generally, it is not a good idea.
Zakan goes all total recall. Open your mind.
It's not an open invitation to connect with every presence that you come across, but
Do not go back to those ghosts.
Are you sure? Because if I do it this time, it stands that it could help again in the future. Like, don't make me change my mind. Just focus.
Any sentences that includes this time.
So would that be? Could I say that would be like an insight? Not insight. I mean, Arcana check or something.
The priest just kind of gestured for you to enter the circle with the crystal.
and I'll grant guidance in that sort of, when giving the crystal over, if it's needed.
I am
Grant guidance.
going in the circle.
So yes, Corbin, you carry. It's like basically the length of a human kind of forearm. It's pretty hefty crystal. That's being given to you. It was it did belong to giants. So, and you.
Yeah, fair. No, I got you. Okay, I got it.
Over. There we go. You walk over to the center of the circle and sit cross-legged in the focal point of the stones. And
Pull up my hood and being all.
and then as the sounds of Ringstone kind of fade away and you focus in on yourself, the stone beneath you, and the crystal in your lap, what do you think? What do you focus on? What do you attempt to do?
Okay. Honestly, sort of put out a feeling or searching for. This might be like counterintuitive almost, but the irritation that has been slowly I'm seeing that as like the beginnings of the infection. People's attitudes changing, which allows more, makes everyone else around them more susceptible So where is that the strongest? That would be kind of like the key. That would be at least in this area, the source. And if we stop that, we won't have another grove incident here as well. That is what I'm trying to avoid.
Okay.
Like everything in me.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
As you sit here with the crystal, meditating on that and its magical presence, you hear the priest starting to chant. And the rest of you see the priest standing between two of the stones. Two stones slightly larger than the other ones at the top end of the circle, with a palm outstretched to either one. And you see almost a thickening of the air, like you're looking through a heat haze in between each of the stones, forming like a curtain around the circle. And you see Corbin's form sitting, head bowed, looking down at the crystal, seem to shimmer almost and distort through this thickening of the air.
Right.
And Corbin, as you focus, you feel your very essence, your very soul drain out of you, down through your buttocks and into the rock below you, and you feel a connection with the stone, with the cavern, with the walls of Blingden stone and the standing stones around you. And as you do, you start to feel a connection with the stone. Now, how private would you like to be about this? If you if you wish to keep
like
this to
things
yourself,
I learn or something.
that's fine. Or I could read what the stone can do.
Oh, no, it's cool. It's a stone. No, it's fine. I would probably share what the stone could do to others with
Later,
my party.
anyway. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I just want to double check. So yeah, you feel this crystal joining with you, attuning, if you will, and you become aware of its abilities. It seems to sharpen your mind, and you become more aware of your surroundings and able to assess the situation and just what is going on around you. And mechanically speaking, you, whilst using the crystal, have advantage on investigation checks. You also become aware that the power of the stone can be channeled and used to a certain extent each day. And I am very happy to tell you, I'm so glad Zakan said that Corbin should have this. You can use the crystal several times a day to cast either Speak with Dead,
Yes.
Speak with Plants,
Yes.
and or Speak
Say it.
with Animals.
Ah! We gotta think of a voice for Webster. We're gonna talk so much.
Incredible. Fantastic.
That was perfect. I couldn't think of anything better.
Right?
Oh, jeez, that's awesome.
And
Is there a thing I need to do on my sheet?
yeah, I'll
Like, is
get
there a
that. Yeah, I'll
certain
get
thing I
that
look up?
sorted. And it
Okay,
has
thank you.
charges, and it regains charges each day. And you can also, do you have any divination spells? If you have divination spells,
One second.
if you have
That's all
divination,
so well in character.
yeah, right. If you have any divination spells that have material components that are consumed by the spell, you can use charges of the crystal to replace those. It's pretty sick.
I love this crystal. Its name is Charlie now.
Noted.
Corbin comes back to the group to tell us like what happened with connecting to the stone. Was like, well, Charlie told me, and we're like, what?
Exactly though. It was like, and you guys know what? Like, Charlie's the best thing I could have ever gotten.
In England, back when I was a kid in England, they had these like road safety and thing adverts, where it's like this kid with a cat, and the cat would be like, and then the kid would turn to camera and say, Charlie says you should look both ways before crossing the road. There's your voice.
Perfect.
That's just cute. That's just adorable.
The dragon is gonna need a voice too eventually.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Only then the dragon.
Well, the dragon
I
just
would
straight
voice
up
the
talk,
dragon.
so that's okay.
Right. The baby dragon, I guess.
Yeah.
I specifically want to voice the teenage dragon though. I have something in my head.
You gotta think of voices for like plants, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You did this to yourself. I'll just say, just message me what you want them to say, and I'll read them out loud in those voices.
Bad Isol is gone.
All right.
Yeah, I'd have snitched.
Now-
I'd have snitched on ISO like immediately.
If, Corbin, you would like to refresh your character sheet, you do now have an attuned Stone Speaker crystal, and you can click on the name to get the full list of the abilities there, and the list of, it's got the checkboxes for the charges if you use those up. It's
Awesome.
and Speak with Animals is the cheapest one. The other ones are more expensive. So it's like, score! It's like 2 charges for animals, 4 charges for dead, 3 charges for plants.
Jeez.
Just think of all the just skipping through the next mushroom grove, just chatting with all the mushrooms.
Right? What's okay? So which one of you explode? Okay, that's you. Okay, now which one of you does bad things to people? I think.
Just slowly raises its like a tendril.
Oh, it's me. I do bad things.
It's me.
I am the evil shroom. Okay.
What you need?
Now which one of you is not gonna, you know what you do.
Yes. Now be careful, Corbin.
You
on-
almost got me.
On a long rest, that won't automatically restock the charges, so you'll have to roll that and remember to do that. And do keep track of that. Mark those off like those spell slots whenever you use that, which might be quite often. And like so many
just
things.
like my key points. I have so much.
Right.
Stuff
Exactly.
But it's like my key points. I got it.
And like so many things with charges, if you use the last charge, there is a risk of it disappearing forever. So bear that in mind.
So you gotta try and always save 1 charge.
That's like if there's 1 charge left, it's okay. But if you use
So
the last
always
charge,
keep one in the chamber. Gotcha.
Exactly.
One in the chamber.
All right, so you do that, Corbin, and as you are feeling a connection here with the stone, a connection with the Stone Speaker crystal, there is one last thing. You as you are coming out of the trance and feeling the connection kick in and the energies of the crystal suffuse you and give you these abilities, you start to feel yourself rising up out of the stone again, returning to the flesh and bone that awaits above. But as you do, there is one last flash of vision. Speaking of Mass Effect, when you connect with the codex, it's just like you get this flash of vision of a large cavern, and on the side of the cavern there are huge doors lit by fiery braziers burning in front of it, and to either side of the door there are 2 carvings of stone giants, like the one in Gracklestag who gave you this crystal. And you just hear a deep, resonating voice as you see this vision on Roll20. As you get a glimpse of this cavern and this doorway, and you hear a deep, resonating voice in your mind. Come to us. And beware. And you feel your awareness tugged and directed within the limits of Blingdenstone, within the limits of the city, to the northeast area of the city. And then
You kind of start.
Yep.
I'm gonna say they like come out the vision, kind of start almost like as they're coming out of it, they had already started wandering in the direction that they were supposed to go, and realize that they're walking further away from the party, and it kind of snaps them out of it when the vision ends. They're like, oh, okay, and they like go like this to like put it in their pack, so that it's like on them. They're like, we have to go this way, this way, and then they start moving again.
The priest is nodding. He's like, yes, that is a true connection. Welcome, Corbin, to the stone.
Is it always this adamant? Thank you. Very nice. Have a great day. I'll see you later. It's like this back and forth of them trying to be polite, but also feeling like they need to go. Just looking back at them and going, everybody get ready. Come on, we battle plans. Let's go.
And speaking of, I too feel that we need to go. And as Corbin comes out of the trance, rather flustered, and back to the real world, and her friends with a new toy, we are going to leave the Underdark for a little while. But a massive thank you to the three of you and everyone that has joined us. Thank you for all of those follows, for all of those raids. Thank you so much for the bits as well. Thank you so much. As I said before, all of the new followers that we have there, please keep a look to your Twitch whispers for that followers Discord invite. If any of you who are still with us or not following yet, please do jump in there and come on over and join us in the Discord. And we are very happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you again in the future. There are plenty of opportunities to do that as we roll into the weekend. The end of the week is a busy one here at Phoenix Iwaki. Later on today or tomorrow morning, if that's your part of the world, we will be back in Ravenloft for Barovia and Beyond, our homebrewed campaign continuing on after the conclusion of Curse of Strahd, as our adventurers have approached the Wizard of Wines and the vineyard has angrily risen up and they have been attacked by evil druid spirits. Thank you, Chaotic. Good to see you as always. And that will bring us to tomorrow, or tomorrow evening. It's very confusing. I'll just go by days of the week. Please adjust. If you look at our schedule on our Twitch page, that is adjusted for your time zone, so it will be appearing in the correct format for yourself. Friday morning here, Thursday evening in North America, we will be back at the Witchlight Carnival for session 2 of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Come and join us with these new characters, these new adventures happening, excellent things going on there, lots of whimsy and fun things going on, but with a little undercurrent of dread, of course, as there is a little wicked side to the Feywild as well. Do come and join us as we go to the carnival one more time. Then, later on Friday, all over the place, yeah, time zone translation, eh? You're welcome, comic, you're welcome. Friday evening or morning or afternoon, depending where you are in the world, but all on Friday, we will be starting something brand new. We will be starting a mini campaign and something very new for us here on Phoenix Ueki, as we will be playing our first non-D&D game as we head off to the Weird West and a minute campaign of Deadlands. A little teaser for which I am about to play you, so stick around for that. And then that'll bring us around to Saturday. It is a Candlekeep Mysteries Saturday, so join us at whichever part of Saturday that is for you, as our adventurers try to escape the dungeon of the Mirror Demon that they have found themselves trapped in beneath the streets of Baldur's Gate. Then that'll bring us all the way around to Tuesday, which will have us back up in Icewind Dale for Rime of the Frost Maiden, and that'll bring us all the way around to the Underdark once more. Lots and lots and lots going on. Please join us whenever and whenever you are able and whenever you fancy. It is always good to see you all. Thank you so much. And we will say goodbye for now, though. Stick around, as I said, get a glimpse of that Deadlands teaser and get yourself some of those Dream Pie channel points as we go off a raiding somewhere. And we shall see you all again very, very soon. Thank you so much for everything today. Players, thank you all as well. I hope you're enjoying Blindingstone so far. It is a pleasure to explore these new places with you, places I have never adventured before. But we will see you all again very, very soon. Stick around for the raid. If you've got them, let those phoenixes fly. But until next time, as we like to say around these parts, Oyasumi Nasai. Bye.